guys, today we are back with another problem. Before solving this problem, make sure you guys like, share and subscribe to the channel. It's a humble request. As more subscribers are there, more motivation I get from solving these problems. Okay, so today's problem is minimum number of insertion and deletions. Okay, so the problem is say for example you will be given a string, okay, string 1, you have to convert it into string 2 using the concept of insert or delete. You can either insert or you can either delete values. Okay, you can either insert or you can delete values. So say for example, if I take the example it says is heap. Okay, and the other example of the string is PEA. Okay, so the first thing which comes to your mind is, okay, so Arnav, what I can do is I can delete every single characters from this. So if I delete, there are 4 characters I can delete. Okay, I can delete equals to 4 and then insert those 3 which I need to make this particular string. So I can say insert equals to 3. So if you carefully see that my total number of operations becomes 4 plus 3 equals to 7. Okay, this can be one of the intuitions, but you can see that our question is saying that we have to find the minimum number of insert or delete. Minimum number of insert or delete. How can we do this? We can do this with the help of the concept of least common subsequence. Okay, so let us carefully understand. So say for example I have heap. Okay, I have heap and I have p. Okay, what are the 2 common values you can say that okay, these 2 are common in between? I can say the longest length of the common value can be somewhere like E and A, right? E and A. So I can say E and A as the longest common subsequence, and so for having E and A I can say, okay, that means I have to delete these 2. So there will be 2 deletions. Okay, there will be 2 deletions and I have to install or insert this P. So 1 insertion. Okay, so it becomes PEA, and this entire thing is done using 3 operations. So if you don't know what is LCS is nothing but the least longest common subsequence. Okay, if you haven't checked out my previous videos, go make sure to check out the videos on longest common subsequence on string playlist. Okay, subsequence problems. Okay, so how we are going to solve this? It's a pretty easy problem. Okay, and what is the formula we are going to apply? So the formula is like, say for example I'm getting this longest common subsequence value, which is say E and A. So the length of this common value is nothing but 2. Okay, I can say the length of the common subsequence value is 2. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I can say, okay, I'm getting a longest common subsequence value of 2. Now what is my number of deletions? So I can say deletions equals to the first string length, which is 4 minus of 2, which is 2, and insert equals to the second string length. Okay, the second string length, which is 3 minus of 2, which is 1, and total number of operations I can easily get is 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So this is how I can form this particular problem statement. So it's a very easy problem statement. Let us, without wasting time, go and solve this particular problem statement. So you can see it is saying that our code goes over here. I'm just going to constrict this place, make way for more. Before that I have to make the longest common subsequence operations, right? So I can say int LCS. Okay, if you haven't checked, you should go, or else you can learn from here as well. I just have to take string str1. I can take another string str2. Okay, I've taken the 2 strings of the LCS. Now I have to take the length of the 2 string. I can say m equals to str1 dot length. Okay, similarly I can take the length of the second string. I can say the length of the second string as n. Okay, now I have to store the length of the elements in the 2D array. So I can say int dp of equals to new int, I can say n, and I can say m. Okay, so what I have to write m plus 1, m plus 1, and I can write over here n plus 1. Okay, so I've taken the length carefully. Now I have to build up the DP array, so I can build up the array from int I equals to 1, I less than equals to m, I plus plus. Okay, once this is done, I have to take a j loop. So in the j loop, I can write int j equals to 1, j less than equals to n, j plus plus. Okay. Now I have to take the last characters to check the matching values, right? So I can write it very simply like this: str1 dot caret of I can say I minus 1. Okay. Caret of I minus 1 is equals to str2 dot caret of j minus 1. Okay, if this condition is fulfilled, what I'll be doing next is I'll be storing the value of the subsequence. So I can write dp of ij equals to dp of I minus 1, dp of j minus 1, okay, plus 1. Okay, or else in the else part what I can do is dp of ij is equals to math dot max of dp of I minus 1 j, okay, and dp of I and j minus 1. Okay, once my else part is done, I have to close the for loops. Okay, I have to return over dp of m n. Now I have to develop the logic which I have told you guys, minimum number of operations. So for this I can simply say that okay, I have to store the LCS value. I can say int z equals to LCS of str1 comma str2. So I have taken the two values and I have computed their least longest common subsequence value over here. Okay. So once the LCS is done, what my formula I have written is I have to, for the deletion, I have to take the first. Okay. So for I can say int deletion equals to uh, length of the total string of the first. So str1 dot length, okay, minus of z. For insertion, I have to do the same thing, but I will take the second string. So I can say ins str2 dot length minus z. So and return, what I'll be doing is deletion plus insertion. Okay. Now I'll simply compile my code. Uh, what is the error? I can I have done some mistake maybe. I will check. So I've taken LCS. I have taken LCS. So I can say this as private in LCS. Okay. I just can take int LCS string 1 and string 2 I've taken. I've taken the length. I've computed the DP array of n plus 1 and n plus 1. Okay. str2. Sorry, this was the mistake. So this has to be str2. Let's compile. Yeah, so our code is working. Let us submit this code. See, we have solved 202 problems so far. It's long days of coding, long days of staying up and posting videos. I make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And it gives me immense amount of motivation to put more contents for you guys. Okay, so I can just see the comments over here. This is as longest common subsequence method. Okay, and I can say minimum number of operations method. Okay, so over here we can say that we have made a DP array bottom up approach. DP array from bottom up approach. Okay, what else do we have? 2D array. So we can write, we're building it over here. So I can write is making 2D array to store lengths of LCS. So that is it. So it's not a big problem. We are checking the previous characters over here, and then we are storing the values in the DP array. We are storing the length, and then we are finally storing the maximum value. Okay. If you haven't watched the explanation of the longest common subsequence, go check my channel. You will surely find it. Thank you so much, and we are looking forward to solve more problems.